start with the space that you're sitting in, and that's the Nationwide Showroom. I know you guys put a lot of work and effort into redesigning that space. Walk us through, what's going on.
Probably the most exciting thing I am thrilled about here at the show is our Nationwide space. We've had the showroom, for I think probably about 8 years, and it was time to give it a facelift. We really wanted to let our showroom represent who we are as a company. The word is getting out. We've been slammed over the past 3 days with members and with dealers that have heard about Nationwide and actually coming in, and it's just a nice representation of who we are.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stotts. Ahead of primetime in just a few short days, as this episode drops, the furniture and bedding team had the fun privilege to also be out in Las Vegas for Las Vegas Market. And this is obviously a busy time for them, but an exciting one because they got to attend Vegas Market and be in a newly redesigned showroom there for Nationwide Marketing Group, the first opportunity for both them and our members and vendor partners and other retailers and attendees to see this new space that got a complete overhaul. As Mr. Rose tells us, Mr. Jeff Rose of the F&B team, joined today from Las Vegas Market and, gave us a quick little tour. If you're on the video version of this podcast, you'll get to see a quick little spin around of the showroom. But as he put it, the first time in 8 years since the showroom opened that it's gotten an overhaul and, adding new spaces, new areas to explain more of the Nationwide Marketing Group story as we've evolved over time as an organization and really give our members and other visitors access and the opportunity to see all of the offerings, and that's everything from private labels to marketing and website offerings and tools that are available to them to help them thrive on their own terms, as we like to say. And obviously got to talk a lot about that with Jeff and talk about the showroom, the strategy around it, and what he's obviously also excited for coming out of Vegas Market and out of primetime here in a couple days. So lots going on in the F&B space, and Mr. Rose was kind enough to spare just a few moments of what was clearly a very busy and bustling showroom while he was trying to talk with us for the Independent Thinking Podcast, but a lot of fun nonetheless, and clear to see that he was fired up about it and gets us fired up about it too when he's excited. So lots going on and plenty to dive into in both the F&B space and both of these shows, Vegas Market and Primetime with Mr. Rose. So here we are. This is Jeff Rose of the Furniture and Bedding team here on the Independent Thinking Podcast. All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast, and you see him in a suit and tie. Well, no tie, a loosened button at the top, but if you're watching the video version of this, it must be important. We got Mr. Jeff Rose of our Furniture and Bedding team here on the Independent Thinking Podcast, checking in live with us as we're recording, not as you'll be watching or listening to this, but from Las Vegas Market. So, Jeff, how are things out there? How you doing?
I'm great, Rob. We're on I think it's day 3 of Las Vegas Furniture Market, and we got the teams out here. We got the Furniture and Bedding team. We've got our MSM team. A lot of members have walked in. A lot of energy and B826 here in our Nationwide space. So just happy to be talking to you. I know we always riff and have a good time, and I love the energy that you bring. So ready for the next couple minutes of the Rob and Rose podcast. So.
Here we go. We'll have some fun with it, and we'll dive more into Furniture Market in a little bit because I know we got a lot of exciting things to talk about. But before we do that, how are you, and how are things in the furniture and bedding business right now as we sit here, in end of January, still early 2022, but a lot of 22 left ahead of us.
There is. So so I am well. Family's well. We had a great, Christmas and New Year, and then 2022 hit, and it's time to rinse and repeat, and let's rock and roll. So 2021. The industry was great for furniture and bedding. Nationwide members outperformed the industry, which we always like to hear, by double digits. And so on the bedding side of things, we really the group responded well to what's going on, and the independent channel came in very strong, especially on the nationwide side of things, and on the bedding side, and definitely on the furniture side as well. So that catapulted us into 2022, and still picking up where we left off, but the consumer demand, we're still trying to wait to see where it goes. A lot of uncertainty as the virus is kind of the COVID virus is evolving, and so consumers are evolving, and we're in the thick of it right now, and just trying to a lot of optimism for 2022, and a lot of exciting things that's going to be happening in the industry. So I think our members and just the independent channel is set up very nicely for 2022. Just trying to see what these manufacturers do with inventory, and what's where is that going to lead us over the next couple of months.
Right. And that kind of, is where I was going to pick up with you is, you talk about the major challenges, and obviously it was supply, inventory, and keeping up with demand. It were some of the big challenges that we saw, obviously supply chain as well, in 21. Same things as we turn to 22, same challenges face this independent retail channel.
Yeah, I think yes, definitely on the furniture side. I think bedding is starting to stabilize with the raw material issues, and definitely get back to normal ship times. On the furniture side of things, a lot of it's all imports, and so overseas plants are they're handling situations a little bit different than we're doing on the States, which is causing a lot of delay on products getting on the water. Anxious to see what some of these freight carriers do inside these ports over the next 90 days. I mean, is it going away? No, I still think we're gonna have some issues all the way through the year. I think some manufacturers are handling it a little bit better, and it's been fascinating to watch how presidents and CEOs are handling these situations differently, and seeing who's thriving better than others. And a lot of them are really taking a focus on what's in stock right now, and not worrying about anything else, and really pushing that message out to their to the membership. And others are trying to figure out on the fly what to do overseas and try to get everything over, and it's helping. I mean, it's hurting what is in stock now, because they're not focusing on that. And so it's it's been interesting, and we're every day is different, I'll tell you that. So.
It feels like I've been that way for a couple of years now, but it means we're used to it, right? We're used to kind of dealing with this, and seeing what's in front of us, and the strength of the independent channel, right? Adjusting on the fly, and making the best of what they're kind of been, the hand they're being dealt.
You absolutely nailed it. I mean, 2021 was the wildest year you can imagine, and just with supply chain and everything that's going on. But we came out very nicely, and it was so great to when we talked to our dealers to hear how their years went, and strongest years that they've ever had, and it's all good, and it's all on the strength of that independent dealer and our membership. And so and it was a good year for the manufacturers as well. I mean, just they sold a lot of product. They had their challenges, don't get me wrong, and probably a lot of sleepless nights, but the nationwide portfolio of manufacturers and just the furniture bedding industry itself, they had a fantastic year. And we do think 2022 is going to be do very well also. But one thing that we're waiting to see, just what are these consumers going to do? I mean, we've had 2 years of them sitting at home. They're ready to get back out and travel. They're wanting to to go out and do and spend some of that extra money that they have, when for the past 18 months they've been spending it on home goods. And so there's some concern there that we're watching. And I think I do think the membership and the dealer network is going to have to be very strategic this year on how they advertise. And a lot of them really did not have to advertise last year. and the consumers were just coming in. And I think they're going to have to really look and try to reach some of those consumers, that are looking to do other things than spend money on their house. So.
I swear I didn't share my questions, but you've segued nicely twice now into what I was going to ask next, and that's the opportunities, right? It's just this yin and yang, right?
Rob, we've been doing this for many years now. We're reading each other's minds, so
it works so well. I should just let you go and talk for 20 minutes, and that be the podcast. But no, the opportunities. To your point, as we looked at, 2021 was a big year for members and manufacturers because they capitalized on opportunities that were available. So as kind of things shift and change, and we're now in 22 now with, as you mentioned, the ever-changing landscape, what are those kind of opportunities that you're identifying? Maybe it's on the marketing side or elsewhere in the space that retailers can capitalize on and adjust to now so they can, ensure they're successful in 22.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a couple things, definitely like on the manufacturer side, some opportunities. I mean, you gotta think that these manufacturers over the past 18 months, 2 years, they've either delayed product launches or just didn't have the resources to really dive into some of these really innovative product launches, like take on the bedding side of things. And I think we're going to see some really neat and exciting launches, like with our two major manufacturers. We've got Serta Simmons Bedding, launching Beauty Rest Black at our primetime show that's coming up. I've seen the line. It is neat. I mean, it is really fascinating on what they've done with the technology and the look and the feel. And I think they've had a lot of time to really think and be very proactive on what a consumer wants now. And they've developed a really nice product. And then later on in Q3, Q4 with Tempur Sealy, we've got the Stearns and Foster launch that's coming in 2022. We're really excited to see what they do there. And on the furniture side, we've got some really innovative product launches that are coming down the pipeline on upholstery and on some case good products. And so it'll be neat to see how these manufacturers will be pivoting in 2022 and really focusing on product. I think in the back half of the year, once they navigate Q1 and Q2 and really understand where the shipping issues are going to be starting to get better, they'll be able to focus more on some product side. And I think just thinking opportunities on just advertising and marketing. I just think our membership, it's the way that consumers are shopping now are changing rapidly. I think our marketing team is doing a phenomenal job of looking to see where that puck is going, with our websites and how our digital strategies are reaching those consumers. And so I think there's multiple opportunities for our members to kind of roll up their sleeves and really not be afraid of digital marketing, really go after it, not be afraid of websites, really focus on the websites in 2022. And I think Nationwide and RWS and Side on Time are really doing some creative teams behind Jen Dako and her team to really reach those consumers in different ways. And some major opportunity there.
No, a lot of exciting things to talk about. And you mentioned, especially on the product side and seeing these things, what better way to do it than being at somewhere like Vegas Market or Prime Time that we have back half of the now where you are and back half of the year as well. So kind of transitioning a little bit, talk about, you're there in Las Vegas Market and, anyone watching on the video side can see you're sitting in front of something new that's going on there at the Nationwide showroom. We see a little timeline behind you. I know a lot of work. We'll get into kind of what you're excited about being there at Market, but start with the space that you're sitting in, and that's the Nationwide showroom. I know you guys put a lot of work and effort into redesigning that space this year, and I don't want to steal your thunder any more than that. So kind of walk us through, what's going on in the Nationwide space there at Las Vegas Market.
Yeah. So probably the most exciting thing I am thrilled about here at the show is our Nationwide space. I've been industry 17 years. I mean, this is probably my 70th market that I've been to between High Point and Las Vegas. And, we've had the showroom, for I think probably about 8 years. And it was time to give it a facelift. And we really wanted to let our showroom represent who we are as a company. Nationwide's made a lot of strategic decisions over the past, 3-4 years on marketing, on websites, on who we are through our private labels and vendors. And, so we took a hard look at our showroom and we said, you know what, we need to do some things. And so over the past 8 months, we've been in here. We've had contractors in here, and we've given them a complete facelift. And we have our own dedicated marketing area now, where RWS and Site on Time is set up to walk through these opportunities. We have a full display of our private labels with SSB and TSI. We've got some outdoor vendors in here. We've got a beautiful timeline that's behind us, and just a complete makeover. And the word is getting out. We've been slammed over the past 3 days with members and with dealers that have heard about Nationwide and actually coming in, and it's just a nice representation of who we are. And so, matter of fact, Rob, I'm going to get up.
Oh no!
I'm gonna get up. Oh yes. Is this the first time this has ever happened on a Rob
It is.
podcast?
This is something. We could talk about the video side of things, but now we are getting. If you're not watching the video version of this, now would be a good point to, get yourself over to our YouTube channel. We're getting a nice Blair Witch Project style tour.
Yes, there's Leon, everybody. So it looks good.
Yeah.
It's busy in here and it's
kind of going around. So I'm going to walk back because I don't want to make people, nauseous of the Blair Witch Project going on. But anyway, you can tell I'm fired up. And
it is awesome, man.
Just threw you a little curveball, which I always love to do. So
I like it. Innovation in every way, shape, and form with Jeff Rose. So
yes,
I know.
So,
well, tell us why, you mentioned a little bit about why it was time, 8 years for facelift. And how does the space from a strategy perspective, getting people there, does that change at all with this redesign? Like why drive them to the showroom and kind of how you guys use it? You mentioned the new dedicated area for marketing and talking about those opportunities, obviously that being, part of it now, but what else, what goes into what happens when a member comes to the space or a vendor partner? Why visit?
Yeah, great. That's a great question. So not only is the furniture and bedding team here, but you just, for those watching, saw Leon, who runs our West region. So we actually have MSMs here. They're nationwide reps, and so when a member comes in, they're able to actually sit down face to face with one of our MSMs and see what's new, what's going on, or we can take them around and see private label collections with TSI and SSB that aren't in the Tipper Sealy space. They have to come here and see it. Like I said, we have our marketing area, and Prime Media is back there. We can actually see what Prime Media is about, and the capabilities of what we're doing there. And the whole idea is for a member to come here, feel comfortable, and get a big perspective of what Nationwide is and who we are. If they have not been to a prime time in a while, or if a dealer that's not in our group, I've heard about Nationwide, but what do y'all, who are you guys and what do y'all do? And so we're able to sit down and walk them through the showroom and show them the benefits of how we can help that dealer inside their community. So,
no, that's awesome. And obviously nice to see you guys fired up about it. And I'm sure this being the first, opportunity to be there at Las Vegas market and with the new design, exciting times for sure. And not to gloss over it, but what else that is happening at Vegas market that you are, what trends are you seeing, or what, I guess, have you had an opportunity to leave the showroom and go venture about? And if so, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so we've been the furniture bedding team. We come here, we make sure that the space is all set up, and then we actually do leave the market and go meet with our vendor partners. And we're seeing trends. We're sitting down, planning strategic things for the upcoming quarters, and we see probably about 60 to 70 vendors while we're here. So it's a very productive, 4 to 5 days while we're here. And, and then, we meet retailers, we see them in the hall, or we'll schedule some appointments and, sit down and talk to them and, what's important to them in a vendor. And, we're always out there looking for, new opportunities with vendor partners to bring back to the membership. And so those members can bring those opportunities to their store to, show their dealers inside their consumers inside their cities. So it's been doing these a while, and it's definitely a very productive but very tiring couple of days, because we get here very early, 7 o'clock, and we don't leave sometimes till 6 or 7. So
and boots on the ground and doing work, man. It's tiring to hear about. I can't imagine from your guys' perspective. It sounds like you guys are doing quite a bit, and lo and behold, a week and a half, 11 days from when we're sitting here talking, you'll be in another city doing much of the same, with Primetime. So I know, obviously a quick turnaround for you guys, but as you look ahead to Phoenix and kind of what, will be happening there, what gets you fired up about, that next show, just a stone's throw away from where you are?
Yeah, so first off, we're not going to talk about the quick turnaround because my wife is not very happy about this quick turnaround.
Do you get to go home and do laundry, or do you have to bring it with you to Phoenix?
Oh no, Mama said, "Get your butt home." I've got two kids under 4, and so Mama's like, "Yeah, you need to get home real as fast as you can." So I'm gonna go home and recharge batteries for about 3 days, and then we're off to Phoenix. And it's going to be a great show, Rob. We're really excited. This will be our second in-person show since the craziness. And the last show in Nashville, the furniture and bedding area, we had roughly about 35 vendors. And so our show in Phoenix coming up, we're going to eclipse about 46 vendors. And
wow.
So definitely nice increase. And so what that tells us is the manufacturers, they believe in what we're doing at Primetime, and getting members to the show to bring opportunities for them to bring back home. And so the manufacturers want to be a part of it. It's so great to actually walk around the Vegas market, and before we can even get into what's going on in Vegas market, they want to talk about Primetime, how they're excited about Primetime. And they're bringing the opportunities, the offers. We've got some very large cash backs available that you can only get at the show. We got some special financing opportunities to help drive consumers into our dealer store. And we have some major product launches that will be going on at Primetime. That will be the first time any independent dealer can see some of these products will be at our show. And so jam-packed with learning sessions, just a lot of good things for the independent dealer at Primetime. I'm really excited about it.
Well, and to your point, the things that only an attendee at Primetime will be able to see firsthand. It kind of shows you, even though you are very close in not only distance but time, between Primetime and Las Vegas market, that the two shows, they distinguish themselves. So it's an opportunity. Even if a dealer had been to Las Vegas market, there's still plenty of value in being there in Phoenix. And if they're not in Phoenix, or I'm sorry, if they're not in Las Vegas, then obviously a great opportunity to catch up on the happenings and see what's going on in the F&B space.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Rob. So I mean, if you come to Vegas and it's good to come to a market and walk around and see a larger scale of what a vendor can offer. But when you come to a Primetime, the manufacturers know that it's a buying show, and they are providing specials, cashback offers. They don't care who you are. You can't get them unless you come to Primetime. And so if you are at Vegas market, those offers aren't available. And so if you come to Primetime, that's where they are. And so that's a big check mark. But another big thing that I love about our show, Vegas market's very scattered. It's very large. At our show, it's only nationwide members there, and so I love just walking through lunch or walking the halls and just seeing members talk to members, talk about what their challenge is and how they're overcoming their challenges. And it's pretty, the networking that goes on is worth the time coming, because you're meeting with like members, and talking about some of the same challenges that you're facing in your area, but that member might be doing something a little bit different that you can take back home and succeed. So it's pretty neat. And I've been with Nationwide 10 years. Primetime is my absolute favorite thing that we do, and just kind of brings everything together, puts smiles on people's faces, and it makes us it just makes me proud to be a part of this organization, because it all comes together, and we all work so hard to bring it together, and then we blink and it's over, and then we blink and it's time to do it again 6 months later. So,
truer words have never been spoken.
Rinse and repeat, baby. So.
It's incredible. And when you're in Phoenix and you happen to stumble upon a couple members of the F&B team and they are asleep on the Serta Arctic beds, cut them some slack, and just know that they've been through the ringer for the past 11 days or so. So, no, Mr. Rose, I appreciate you taking the time. This was a lot of fun diving into, Vegas market, the F&B space, and obviously getting a little, mini tour of the new showroom there at Las Vegas Market. What was the number? 826? Did I say that right?
Yeah. So Nationwide Space is building B 826. So, next time you're over here in Vegas, come see us, and love to show you around.
That's awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your time there, and I'll see you soon, buddy.
Yes, indeed, Rob. Always a pleasure, bud.
All right, and thanks again to Jeff for sitting down in front of that timeline at the Nationwide Marketing Group showroom there at Las Vegas Market, and sharing some of his thoughts, the things going on in F&B, the challenges and opportunities ahead of the space as we, dive deeper into 22, and then also the showroom, the little mini tour of the showroom, and talking about the whys, whats, and hows of, what they're trying to accomplish there at Vegas Market and at Primetime. So appreciate him, and as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we will catch you next time.